Well, at just 22 years of age, Yossi Ghinsberg set out on an adventure in the Amazon. Little did he know it would almost cost him his life when he was separated from his 3 companions. Yossi spent 3 weeks alone in the Amazon, the densest terrain on Earth, with no supplies, no survival skills and no one to help him.
It was the 15th day of my solitude. I couldn't start a fire, there was no sun to dry, and no food, and the rain, and wet.
Yet somehow he survived, and his story has inspired so many people. It's set to become a big motion picture, with Yossi being played by none other than Harry Potter's Daniel Radcliffe. Wow, the film is set for release in August and is very close to Yossi's heart, as you can imagine. While rescue finally came for him, 2 of his friends were never seen again. This is an incredible story. Yossi Ghinsberg live in the studio. Good morning. Welcome to the show. What a story of survival. Is it possible to explain to us, all of us who will never understand what that's like, what it was like?
I would say it is, because what you learn in a real survival situation is that actually you can cope with it, because there is no choice, you know, because in your head when you think, oh, I'll never survive, but in a real survival situation you don't have a choice. So it's a huge awakening, because life is so precious that in real situation we'll defend life. And, you know, people turn, in real survival situation, people turn into superheroes. I'm not, I mean it literally. You see mothers that a kid falls under a truck, a mother will lift the truck. Because survival gives you that power. So it gives you the physical power, the mental power, the spiritual power. And
so in a way, how did you do it? What was more difficult, the physical or the mental?
Without the mental, there's no physical, so the mental has to be. But what I say is, like, the mental and physical are being called by the situation, and surprisingly, they're there. You know, we don't trust ourselves, but in a real situation, actually we're there. So there was an awakening, first of all. It's a process of self-discovery, because I never thought I actually can cope with it, but there was nobody else, so I needed to cope with it. But literally, you know, it's like walking down river, because that's the only guide, and looking for food during the day, which were usually a couple of eggs that I rob out of nests, and at night making a shelter between the roots of a tree, covering myself with leaves. No fire, no gun, no knife. Rainy season, you know, it was...
How did you know how to survive? How did you know to do that?
I didn't, you know, like, I mean, I have been in the jungle for months already with 3 of my friends.
Okay.
But it was different. We had a guide, we had a gun, we hunted, we had a machete, which is the most basic survival tool. We had fire. So it was totally different when I was alone, with no gun, with no fire, with no machete. So, but you don't need to learn much in order to rob eggs out of nest. When you're starving, you will eat anything, and you know, so you learn very quickly. And there were no tools, so I had just to use my hands. There's a lot of, you know, like, adversity coming my way. It's a very dense place, there's lots of animals. It was a very rough, rainy season. I was inflicted with disease, with injuries, but...
How were you finally rescued? How did that happen?
We were 4. 2 disappeared forever, not seen again. 1 that I lost in the river was found by indigenous people. He was saved, and he insisted on coming back with the indigenous people that saved him. And they found me in a miraculous way. It's I mean, you have to get into the details to really understand it was a miracle, just to find me in this...
It's an incredible story. We're going to know all about this after we see the movie. Tell us about the movie and what that means to you.
Well, you know, first of all, it's a huge privilege, you know, that it turned into a movie. For me, it means a lot, because the story has an effect of other people's life. Not everybody has to go through the story, but vicariously they can learn from my experience, and it's been an inspiration for thousands of people all over the world. And I hope the movie, my main hope for the movie is that it will inspire people and empower people. And also I have an agenda, which is the Amazon forest and the indigenous people of the Amazon forest. So I hope it's going to do good for that as well.
And Daniel Radcliffe gets to play you. Physically you're very different, but you say he brings an enormous spirit.
When he saw me the first time, he was like taken aback. But, you know, he's short. Is not small. You know,
Yeah.
he's a big man.
Oh,
he's just short. So as an actor, is big spirit and a lot of courage and and I really appreciate it, and it's a huge privilege to be represented by him.
Cannot wait to see this movie. And next time I steal your pad thai from the communal kitchen here, don't get upset. It's survival.
Survival.
I'm just trying to get through the day.
Does the movie have a working title? Do we know
The title is Jungle.
just Jungle?
Jungle.
Okay, and it's out August. We can't wait to see it. Thank you, Yossi.
If you'd like to hear more about Yossi's incredible story, you can pick up a copy of his book also called Jungle, or stay tuned for the film out in August. Yossi, thank you.
Yeah, and you can hear more from Yossi on the Daily Edition at 2 o'clock this afternoon.